G'day everyone, welcome to another devlog, this time about Briefcase Guy. It's been out for a couple of weeks now. In this video I'm going to go through the design and ideas that I had for the game, how the pixel art, the music, the audio, the programming, and launch and costs. Just double check that I've got it all with me. Yep, ready to rock and roll. So, Briefcase Guy, man, have you played it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Comments down in the description. Pretty stoked with this one. Basically, I wanted to go with something completely opposite to Bubble Buddies, which is a super cozy game, but it was kind of impeded a lot. This project was impeded a lot by the fact that I just had so many ideas and this concept that I started with. So I'll show you this picture here. This is my original Briefcase Guy that I drew back in, excuse me, 2017 thereabouts, when I was first looking into game dev, and I just built the game around the idea of some briefcase dude. You can see this is, the pixel art looks much nicer from a real pixel artist, believe it or not. And then this is just kind of like the concept of, you know, building on the concept of, okay, what's a briefcase guy doing? He's got a briefcase, he's got to go somewhere important. Yeah, he's got to go to work. So I went deep with the research for this. I was like, who wears like top hats? And then I was thinking, well, maybe like 60s vibe is kind of where they were, you know, when they were popular. So I just went on this massive, I'm clicking the wrong thing. I went on this massive rabbit hole of just looking at 1960s style like clothing and things like that, to get ideas for characters. And yeah, I settled on New York because I figured, if you got a briefcase and you're wearing a top hat and you got a job, you're probably working in New York in the 1960s. So got some building references, cars, people, the vendors and Paperboy, which made it into the game. So yeah, I just kind of, honestly, it's been such a, it come and gone so quickly. You know, from initial idea about a dude going to work to just thinking like, oh, what's going to slow him down on the way to work? What's going to, you know, speed him up? And so went with the coffee vendor. But I'll just jump over to the little intro video and talk over this as well. Try and stop coughing. So you got the Paperboy, you got puddles of water, you got the holes, which are treacherous, but he's got some powers of sliding and somersaulting to help him on the way. So really stoked with getting this one out, given how complex it ended up being, which I'll get into a bit more. But yeah, the basic idea, just get to work on time, and yeah, really stoked with it. So I can hide that for a sec, and yeah, get back into the pixel art. So I'll actually jump back on there. So you can see, based off those references, I got the buildings looking really cool. All the characters like pretty like 1960s-ish. Honestly, I was really pushing the 1960s thing like super hard initially with the pixel artist, and I kind of had to dial it back. Actually, the buildings as well, I initially had this crazy idea about having like modular, like 3-piece buildings that would generate, and it was just way too much. I'm really glad that I kind of dialed it back, and I think we've got about 10 different buildings, and each of them have 3 different colors, and so there's plenty, so the background always looks nice and refreshing as you're playing the game. But and like, I mean, the background like just turned out super nice. But I mean, even still, I think I kind of went a bit overboard with the buildings. I don't think that it really needs to be that many, but It looks really cool. I'm really stoked with that. Also, the UI. Initially, I was going, because of the 1960s New York thing, I was going with the like a subway, like train, like sign kind of vibe, but I ended up going with the like what's in the briefcase for that. So I've got the paper, and on the main screen is also the folder. So really happy with that, how that turned out. Looks really cool. And so that helped kind of inform some decisions about the audio later on as well. But yeah, love the characters. The animation for Briefcase Guy turned out really cool. And I think just the whole scene just like looks really nice. Yeah, so I'll get on to the audio. So again, with Bubble Buddies, I went with Pixabay to find some audio. Wasn't quite ready with these to be making the music myself, but managed to find some really suitable music to fit the vibe I was going for through Pixabay. Really stoked with the soundtrack for this. And the one thing that I did manage to get in the game just before launch that I'm really happy with is each difficulty, the speed of the music is slightly faster, just to give you a bit more anxiety. So I hope you enjoy that. And all the sound effects are done by me in Audacity. So I went with the kind of Sims vibe of not actually pronouncing the words, rather than just kind of like mumbling. So actually, I thought it was kind of funny when I started recording like the hot dog, which I was just going hot bob, and coffee was just moppy. Actually, when you play the game, I couldn't believe like it sounded so much like the word, even though I was just completely mumbling. But I think it's kind of fun, and I really like how they turned out, and just all the little sound effects. I think there were of course, all the NPCs and Briefcase Guy sounds are me, but there were some other sound effects from Pixabay, which were like the UI sound effects and things like that. Purchasing an item. Funnily enough, I think the cash register sound that I use for buying an item, I actually heard in another indie game coming out. It's a Escape from Tarkov-like game that I've forgotten the name of. Sorry, fellow indie dev. Yeah, really stoked with how the music and sound effects turned out for this one. What do you think? Let me know. What do we got next? Programming, of course. Oh man, so Briefcase Guy compared to Bubble Buddies, man, it's a completely different beast, and I really didn't consider how many more like systems that there were in the game. I really screwed up here because I just constantly added and added and added. Although there were a lot of things that were removed in the end. But the fact that I went from a bubble game that all you do is pop bubbles, get a combo, collect little buddies, I went from that to dudes walking down the street, NPCs are walking down the street, item people spawn, item people can give you items, you can use the items, cars are driving past, the buildings are generating. Oh, by the way, your player can jump, your player can somersault, your player can trip over, and just to give you an overview of that many more things, every single thing that you add into a game just adds that much more complexity. And so that's why the budget for this game for the programming really blew out. And I'm just glad that we took the time to go back to it. And honestly, I did a bit of programming for the game as well to tweak the things, because I really wanted to get, the animations really smooth, making sure everything displays correctly, moving between like jumping and sliding and all that kind of stuff. And there were a few times along the way where I broke stuff trying to program myself, had to get the freelancer to fix it. So but I'm glad that I had that backwards and forwards and with the developer, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, man, when you're getting when you gotta build stuff with code, you really need to consider like every little bit that you add, because it could be something as simple as just picking an item up that can just take a long time. So now on to the costs and the launch. So launch has just happened a couple of weeks ago. I spent a lot of time in testing on the Google Play Store. One thing for new game developers launching on Android or Google Play Store specifically to consider is that if you have a paid app launching on Google Play, unfortunately you can't get testers in the closed testing track to download the game for free. I think it's really odd that that's the case, but that's what it is. What you can do as a workaround is set a 100% off sale, but it can only last up to 8 days. So I actually had an issue where I put the game in testing and my bank account hadn't been verified yet, and it red flagged my account, which was bad. It was scary, because as soon as something goes wrong on your Google Play developer account, it flags it and it says your apps and your account will be removed within 30 days. Thankfully, they give you 30 days, and it's fairly simple to fix. I just had to verify my account. But someone basically what happened, someone actually bought the game when I pushed it into closed testing, and it really surprised me. Someone actually, I know it's only $1, but I mean, someone still paid the money to try and test the game. So once that was fixed, I just refunded them and put the game on sale, and had a good week of testing in the closed branch. I did testing with some other people outside that group as well, and went super well. But here's the costs of everything. So testing freelancers is about $90. Some of that was overlapped with Bubble Buddies, because I kind of tested the two games with freelancers at the same time. Pixel art was $160, and programming was $540. I broke things and the scope was way too big. So what's that total? 790. So big project. Still stoked with getting it to where it is. This US dollars, by the way. So launch, I mean, not much to tell you at the moment. It's only been a couple weeks, and I'll review in like a few months to see how things are traveling. If you played the game, we'd really love some feedback. If you're digging it, if you want anything added to it, I do have some ideas about how to expand the game. One of the features that I had in the game, which I removed towards the end, was best times for your runs, and I removed that because I felt that there could be an issue where if I wanted to update the game later, the best times would be affected. So I just removed it. I don't think, I don't know, maybe the people that are attracted to this kind of game would want to have best times. So maybe I can add that later. But I thought that if I want to add things to it that could affect the length of runs, how fast you do them, things like that, that it would be best to leave that out. Pretty keen to continue to support this. So if you like the game, let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. And that's Briefcase Guy, dudettes. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one.